All right, guys. I got a lot of things I want to talk to y'all about today. I was telling you on the last segment, the last part one of today's message. Today is Saturday, and it is 11. Today is Saturday, and it is January the 7th, and it is 2:15 Eastern Standard Time, and it is January the 7th. Still, again, happy New Year's to you all. We are just still in the New Year's. And while the portals and the doors and the windows of a new chance and a new opportunity are still open, I want you all to take advantage of it. How you start the year off is how you pretty much end it. This was a year to be, let your horses go fast. Just go straight, take off. Nothing, listen, going into the new year, I debunked a whole bunch of stuff. Going into the new year, I slayed 10 million demons straight from the gate. I let their expectations die. I said what I had to say. I meant what I had to say. And I was glad to see that God literally did so many things behind the scenes to allow the enemy to manifest and to allow certain things to shape and form and take place and then take on a manifestation. But there is this one dream I want to give you guys because I said today's message was scream because God changed everything this morning after meditation. And so I want to tell you guys about this. 2 dreams. First dream I had, this was like a couple of weeks ago. I had a dream I was walking, and when I was walking, I saw this ugly demon. I mean, the ugliest jet black demon try to come towards me and try to block me, but I saw him first. So when I saw him, I said, oh no, I already saw you. I already dreamed about you. You're not going to do nothing to me. You're not doing this to me. He was trying to stop my ministry, stop my purpose, and stop my destiny, and stop me from going forward. So I literally saw him, and I started wrestling with him and contending with him. He tried to push my head down on like this table type thing to shut me up. And so what I said was, and I started screaming very loud to the top of my lungs. You better know when to scream. Esther was called to the kingdom to scream. Esther was called to the kingdom to scream. Mordecai was called to the kingdom to scream. The tribe of Israel was called. They was called to the scene to scream. You better scream in the face of the enemy. When a woman is getting raped, if she don't open up her mouth to yell and to scream and to fight and to scream and to yell and to fight, everybody think, oh, she like that. Nobody's doing nothing to hurt her. She's not even screaming. When a child is being abducted and a child is being taken away from its comfort zone and its parents illegally, when it is being done against the will of the mother or the father and the child will scream. Even if the child is only a baby, that child will scream. Why haven't you been screaming? The Bible says that you prophets are all like dumb and deaf dogs, not able to scream at the enemy, not able to bark at the enemy. Why aren't you screaming? Scream what you want. Scream what you don't want. Yell at what you want. Yell at what you don't want. If you are abandoned and you're trying to get from A to Z and you're alone, you're all by yourself, shouldn't you start screaming when you see cars go by? Transportation and you're in the middle of a desert, shouldn't you start to scream? Shouldn't something start to come out of your mouth to let people know, I don't like this situation. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be in that. That's one of the main reasons why I refuse to let the enemy take advantage of me. I'm going to tell you something about me as a woman of God. And I know that a lot of prophets in Africa, you don't understand. I know you don't, because your culture is so different. And in Europe, you don't understand. Your culture is so different. And to white people, you don't understand, because your culture is so different. You're not brutal and wicked and evil like what I've had to endure coming up. Like I said, in churches, sacrificing so much to be abused by a crack addict that was in the pulpit and all that kind of stuff like that. I know you don't understand me, but trust me, I'm not mean. I just have to guard myself. I have to guard myself against predators because I am a lamb. And when you understand that you are a lamb, you can't just go down like that. You can't go down at all. You better scream, bah, bah, you better do something. And so to a lot of people, I come off as strange or no, you shouldn't do that. That's weird. I see it, God. I love when God give me visions in the middle of me talking, in the middle of me just speaking. When David left Saul, was he quiet or was he silent? Or did he scream and did he yell? It was one time that Saul had an encounter with David, or David had an encounter with Saul. Saul was sleeping, and when Saul was sleeping, David went down to where he was, crept in between him and his armor bearer, him and his protection, snatched the water, and then went back up to the top of the hill and screamed and yelled back, not just to Saul, but everything that was in Saul's camp. David went down. He went down into the nook and the cranny of the enemy's camp, snatched what he wanted to snatch, and then ascended back to the high place. Then looked back down at the enemy that was pursuing him and chasing him and yelled in front of everybody. He embarrassed Saul in front of everybody. He said, "Where's your protection?" Lord, I got to go there. Hold on. Let's look at 1 Samuel chapter 26, 1 Samuel chapter 26. And let's please look at verse 1. 1 Samuel chapter 26. And verse 1. And it reads like this. I look right? Okay. Just chilling today. And the title of the message is Scream, Yell, 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 Scream, Scream, Scream. And the Ziphites went to Saul at Gibeah and said, "Is not David hiding on the hill of Hakilah, which faces Jeshimon? Is not David hiding on the hill of Hakilah, which faces Jeshimon?" So Saul went down to the desert of Ziph with his 300. Hurry up, please. Come on. I'm live. Okay. Are you done? What are you doing? Just go and take that. No, you need water with no sugar in it. Go ahead, Joseph. Joseph, don't interrupt me. Go ahead. Hurry up. And that's my cup of ice too, but go ahead. Okay. So Saul went down to the desert of Ziph with his 3,000 select troops, with 3,000 select Israelite troops to search for David. Saul made his camp beside the road on the hill of Hakilah, facing Jeshimon. But David stayed in the wilderness. And when he saw that Saul had followed him there all night yesterday, God said, "You know, you're being followed." Do you know when you being followed? Look, this ain't no figment of my imagination. Ain't nobody crazy. This ain't nobody paranoid. This ain't nobody being scared. You better know when the enemy is following you. Somebody was, because when you get to be who I am and you reach this status and this level, people that don't have control or people that want to be in control, and they're very, very controlling over you. And they want to control you. They want to navigate your whole life. They want to be in every nook, cranny, text message, phone call, everything you do. What they do is they hire people to follow you. And so yesterday, this man trailed me for like 9-10 miles. Not 9-10 miles. Yeah, I think it was like 9-10 miles. And so he trailed me. I got so mad before I even called the people. I got so mad. I said, this is what I did. Because I wanted him to know. I know you follow me. Go on about your life. Go be with who you with. Stop being in my business. And then there are some men, you could tell they're hired to follow you. There are some men, they're too clean cut. They got too much money. They get their deposits, so they get the money that somebody's going to give them and pay them to follow you, just to stalk and be all in your business, want to know all your business, know everything about you. If you go, no matter where you go, if you go into hell, they'll follow you there. You go to, no matter where you go. And so some men and some women, they're too clean to be in certain places. So when you look at it, it's two types of people I already know. I know when that they were sent, because they look a certain way. They got certain demons that keep manifesting in their face when I look at them. So I only got to look once out of the peripheral because see the demon straight on their face. I know to be out. I was in the store shopping the other week. As soon as I saw these two boys walk in there, they walked in there. As soon as I saw them, God said, that's them. That's the devil. Call the police immediately. I saw them. I ran inside of the dressing room. I told my daughter, Nia, I was like, Nia. And so, sure enough, came to the store for 1 second. They was in there, the cameras, they came in there long enough to be picked up by the cameras, and then they turned around and they left. But my daughter was going outside to go get something for me at the time. So when she was going outside to go get something from me, my sister was even walking in the store too, and her husband. So everybody was like a lot going on, but because I'm an eagle-eyed prophet and I hear God before the enemy can even arrive. I yelled back to my daughter, I said, Nia! And the Lord, I ain't supposed to be telling this, but the boy walked up to my daughter when she was outside and asked her if she had a boyfriend. I'm not going to say nothing on this on my coaching couch, because there's certain things you better never say online, because they'll say, you playing that, you playing this. I ain't playing nothing. But one thing I don't play about is my children. And I'm not playing with you. I do not play about my kids. My daughter's a sweet little girl. My daughter done survived AML cancer, AML leukemia, cancer. My daughter's in school to be a nurse right now. I cherish my kids so much. I don't even want my kids in your evil, all y'all evil and wicked presences. I look at some celebrities and I just be like, you know, they gotta work for the devil. They gotta work for the devil. They gotta be with the devil, because they can post their kids and nothing happens. Nothing. They ain't gotta worry about nothing. But anyway, you got to know when you're being trailed. You got to know when you're being followed. You have to know. You really, really got to know. Because if you don't know, you'll be a victim. It is so. And then another thing, I just want to say this while I'm talking to you guys. I was about to say while I'm watching this vision. It is so. You know, black people come from. I'm not going to say that African American people are not intelligent. I'm not going to say that, because I'm an African American woman and I'm very intelligent. I'm very smart. But if you know something, I ain't telling it. I don't want to tell that. You gotta play smarter. But I ain't here to help certain people. Let them learn it on their own. All right, let them learn it on their own. All right, you just gotta know when you're being followed. Saul followed David everywhere he went. Everywhere David went, Saul was following him everywhere. Valleys, mountains, backside of the deserts. Followed him to the priestess house, to the church, to the temple, to the valley, to the high place, to the low place, to the dry place, to the wet place, to the brook, to the gates. He was obsessed. The Bible says. And that's how you better look at the enemy. That's how you better look at demons. Spiritual demons and physical. That's how you better look at them. Don't you ever get up in the morning. I don't care if you, I don't care what you think. It ain't about nobody being stressed. Don't you ever in your life get up in the morning not thinking it's an enemy with the mindset there's no enemy outside waiting on you and you anointed. Don't you ever get up off guard. There's never a day in my life that I walk out my door and I don't look both ways. There is never a day that I go to my mailbox and I don't look both ways. There is never a day that I don't take my trash out and I don't look both ways, because I know I'm the last of my kind. I know I'm anointed. I know I'm chosen. I know I am called. The woman who saw me and my sister yesterday, she said, salute to the generals. She said, my God. And she looked at me and she said, you remind me of this prophetess in Charlotte. She said, I never told that woman I was no prophetess. I never told that woman I was a first lady. I didn't say nothing to that woman. You don't have to announce yourself. A woman said to me, she said, you look like this prophetess. Did she say her name was, oh my God, I forget that prophetess name. She said, but the prophetess is in Charlotte. And she said, you just remind me of her. You just remind me of that prophetess. And she was just a little bit, she was a little bit too accurate. I know accuracy. The woman was about 90%, 95% accurate. And I just hurried up and got out of the store. When I left and I went back in there, my sister was still in there talking. So when my sister was still in there talking, she said that the woman said, huh? Now, which one is Crystal? That she said. Shendebe kendebe urababasata. My sister said, because it wasn't me. And then the night before I got to the store, I had a dream I was walking in a store in a mall-like setting. And I went to embrace somebody and I thought they were one person, but they wasn't. And God said to me, that's not her. That's Kathy. That's Catherine. That's Catherine. I said, Catherine. And when I went to go Google the name Catherine, which is not the first time that God talked to me about Catherine or Catherine Coleman or Catherine or the healer or the deliverer, none of that. You better know who's embracing you. God had to show me myself as being pure. I'm the pure one. I am the one that is pure. I'm not here to put nobody down, but I'm undefiled. And I'm not going to let nobody defile me. So when the woman was confused and didn't know which one was she was hearing God, I went back in there. And when I went back in there to go get my sister, I was like, come on, sis, we got to go. And the woman looked at me and she said, this the same prophet. She said, hold your horses. She said, hold your horses. Now, to somebody else, that would have meant nothing. But I know how fascinated I am with horses. I know that almost every day of my life, I go and look at horses. I know that. I know how much I love the horse and the horse riders. I know the dreams I had about the rider and the horse and the riders. So when she said that, she was saying, hold your horsepower, hold your power back, hold it, because I'm like a chariot. I'm ready to go. I don't stay in one place too long. Only the devil stays where the devil is at, or the demons are at for a long time, because they all work together. When you are the last of your kind, you are the only pure one. You don't live this life to get to where you are. Ain't nobody got no time to come nowhere where I'm at, to see where I'm at, to come see me with my grandchild and my kids. I don't play that. When I get married to my husband, he gonna be like, babe. I'm like, no, you could go on in there and I'll be right out here making sure I'm not near the security truck, but I'm out here near the popo. You go on in there, baby. I'll be right out here for you. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it, honey. I love you. I'm good. I already gave y'all my orders for me as the first lady. As the first lady, you ain't allowed to sit behind me in church unless I know who you are. I have to see who you are. I have to know who you are. And at any flinch of a demon moving behind me, you will know that I've seen a demon. Because guess what? If it's out of order to get up and cast that demon out while I'm sitting in church, I'm just going to get up and move. I'm going to move. You can add that little section, because you're not about to jump on me with your spirit of perversion, lust, incest, drugs. You're not about to jump on me. See, you got to know what's following you. You got to know where you come from. You got to know what's been associated with the people, the places that you have come from. It ain't in my family, but once you sign a document or a deed to join a church, you join the church. You join the demons that the bishop, the pastor got. So if you join a church or organization ignorant, you are going that mug pure with no problems at all. Yo, come on, you be like, wait a minute, I never did this before. I never was this type of person before. Part 2 coming up.